Alright, say no more. Alright, y'all, welcome back to another rendition of the Cozy Podcast. Here with my co-host, I'm Isaiah. My co-host, Luke Wavy, in the back behind the camera. Today, we got a special guest on the podcast, you feel me? The official graphic designer for the Cozy Candace brand, you feel me? Want to introduce my homegirl, Isis, you feel me?
Hey y'all. Snap,
Background
snap,
claps.
snap.
What's up? So yeah, tell them about yourself, you feel me, to start it off.
Well, I guess as far as graphic design is concerned, I really started doing it during COVID. A&T, they be giving us that Adobe for free.
Yeah.
So I don't know why, but like we had all those programs. So I was just like going in on everything, like After Effects, Adobe Premiere Pro, like Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, like everything. And then my cousin asked me to make a logo, and he was like, you make logos, right? And I was like, no, I've actually never done that before. But I'm super like creative, and I have a good eye, so I guess the math was just mathing, and I did it, and it was good, and people started paying me. And that summer, like, it really kicked off, and people was like, oh, you do logos? Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yep.
What's up. So how you been as of late, you feel me?
Good. Really good, actually. January was rough. I don't know about anybody else. January was rough as hell for me mentally. But I feel better now. I'm, like, in my creative zone. Like, it's shit going on. I'm excited. So, like, life is exciting.
Or
I love life.
That's what's up. You got any plans coming up, like graphic-wise or, like, just elevating-wise?
Well, right after I just did the Black History Month thing, so I kind of took a lot out of me. So I'm kind of like trying to be easy, but I do have a brand, Baby Doll by Isis. So I'm working on some stuff for that, graphics, dipping into men's apparel. Just my pinky toe. I don't know what it's gonna look like. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but the ideas is flowing.
Or,
So
yeah. What gave you the spark to do that Black History Month tribute?
That's so crazy because I know exactly where I was when I did it. So I went to DC in like November, I want to say. My best friend lives out there, and we went to the African American Museum. And I was just so inspired. Like, history, I love to learn, but like even the way that they like made the information so digestible, like it wasn't boring. I mean, museums can be boring, but it was just really cool to see like Black people, we really are the shit. Like, I mean, of course I knew that. I go to HBCU, like, but I don't know, something about the vibe in the African American Museum. I was like, yeah, I'm doing something big for Black History Month. And I did the 30-day challenge a couple months ago with the logos. So I was like, why don't I just do it again? I know more shit. I have more ideas. So fuck it.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Got any questions?
Yeah. Well, this is my first time meeting her. So I'm gonna get that out the way. So it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I did think the Black History stuff was cool.
Thank you. I
fucked with
appreciate
the whole
that.
setup, how you were doing it,
Yeah.
and it was different information that we didn't hear of before. And we actually was talking about on the podcast prior to or around that time about how they was coming with Black History Month and how we felt about it and everything. So me and Nuke were talking about how it was dope. So
Yeah.
we did say we wanted to talk to you about it. So we do appreciate that.
Thank you.
And we'll fuck with that. Man, how y'all week been?
My week been crazy. I've been running around. I'm getting my wisdom teeth taken out.
Oh, how you feeling about that?
After y'all reaction, now I'm like even more scared.
Nah,
Like,
don't mind us, bro.
where's the support? Like, yeah, he's like,
jealous.
Nah, I'm saying because mine grew without me knowing, so I don't know how I feel. But from what I be hearing, people be like, that should be hurting. Yeah.
no, yeah, I have to get all 4 pulled at once.
That's nice.
4? Nah, I mean you don't have to get it pulled,
No,
but you
but
feel like if you gotta get it
Well,
pulled.
that's
it
what
hurt?
they do.
Does it hurt?
No, but it's just a lot going on.
You're gonna be sleep knocked out.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Wait,
But
what
when
you
you
mean? Like
wake
going
up, my
on
face.
at the back of your like?
Yeah, just in general, like, and you know, all that shit is genetic as well. So like,
Ah.
Yeah,
I'm not the first.
You going? Do they let you keep the tooth though?
I don't know. I don't know. I kind of want to
I was
though.
about to say because that shit gonna look crazy. Like it's a wisdom tooth.
You ever seen like how they do the surgery?
Hell
Yeah.
nah.
It's
I've
cool.
seen it.
It's kind of cool though, the way they do
It
it.
don't look as bad.
Yeah,
Nah,
it
but
doesn't.
it-
Kind of hurting too. It feels like you can't like. I don't know how to describe it, but like you feel it. You know exactly what it is when you feel it.
Yeah, you know exactly what it is when you feel. Trust me, bro. Cause like you'd be like, and you try to go in there, like you can't even go in there because it's like all the way back there, bro. So it's like now you just gotta like just try like biting it with this cheek and shit.
That shit
Bruh.
feels so uncomfortable.
It feel too crazy, bro. But it's like you going. That's like you drink water. You try to drink water, and that should just make it worse a little bit. Like for my pain, I was like, damn. Like the only thing that really helped, unfortunately, was when I was smoking, bro.
Yes.
Cause that shit just eased the pain. I was like, damn.
So how do you feel about life and all this bullshit? Because getting wisdom teeth, it's some bullshit.
I agree.
It's like, I ain't gonna lie. So how do you feel about life in general?
Aside from my wisdom teeth, I'm really scared about that. But I feel like that's where a lot of my anxiety is coming from. So I just want to get it over with. But I think outside of that, I'll be able to appreciate life a little bit more. But no, I don't know. Like I said, like I'm feeling like I'm like tiptoeing in my purpose a little bit. Dare I say it? But like I'm realizing like what gets me going is being creative. If it's like painting, I paint too. If it's painting, graphic designing, like whatever it is, I have to be doing something, writing, journaling. Like I have to, like my imagination is too crazy not to. Like I can't let all that shit.
So
stay in
what
my brain.
what really got you in tune with that side of you?
Honestly, probably me dipping into like spirituality and like just becoming self-aware and like learning about all that type of stuff, like astrology and chakras and shit, because that stuff be putting you on to what you need to be doing with yourself to live like the happiest version to live the happiest life that you can.
What have you learned on your journey, your spiritual journey?
I guess what am I learning? I'm tired of learning lessons is where I'm at now. Like I just want to enjoy the shit. But I guess like patience is my biggest thing. You have to like let shit, like Rome wasn't built in one day. You don't pick the fruit the day you plant the seed. So like that's just dead ass not how shit works. So I just have to
Learn how to be patient. That's what's up.
with all aspects of life. So
So speaking about patience, how do you feel? Well, what are you doing to, master yourself? You feel me? Actively, you feel me?
probably just like being more present, like where I'm at in this very moment now. Right now, we cozy, so like I can't be thinking about what tomorrow is, what yesterday is. Like I gotta just stay in the moment. And whenever I feel myself like drifting, like not here, like cause mentally like my mind just like I just be thinking about so many things. So I just gotta remind myself to be here. Cause like if you think about like time and what time is, like you know how to be saying there's no like future, there's no past, like it's only the present. That's why the present is called a present, because it's a present. That shit is true. Low key, the Kanye documentary put me onto that. Not directly, but like it was like inspiring to think about things that I thought about that I was thinking, and I ended up there with that thought.
This nigga new. You got any questions? So
Shit, nah. I mean, you spot on. I fucks with it.
yeah, wanted to ask you. So you were speaking about chakras and all of that. Where you at mentally with everything that you learned? Like, what can you say is valid to you, and like, what you just take with a grain of salt?
I think like how you interact with people. For me, like I'm not saying I'm a very passionate person, like in all aspects, like in my work, in my relationships, in my friendships. Like, I'm just really passionate. And sometimes, like, you get emotional about the things that you know, are passionate about. So I have to just basically, like, everything is not that deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it just is what it is. Like, stop trying to make it a thing. Like, it doesn't have to be as extensive as I make it.
So, in certain situations, how you learning to, you know, find that balance of, you know, this is something I need to dive into deeper, and this is something that, you feel me, I don't need to focus on as much.
I don't know, truthfully. I feel like sometimes I be too into the, like, self-awareness journey. Like, I always want to work on myself because I always want to be the best version of myself for people around me, for people that I care about, for myself. So I don't know. It's hard finding that balance. But slowly but surely, I think that just goes back to, like, being present. Like, you can only work on yourself but so much. And, like, that's what creativity, that's one of the things that, like, creativity has taught me. Like, I'm creative, period. Like, that's a certain. That doesn't change. That's not a constant. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to do things rooted in creativity. Does it stimulate my mind? Does it make me excited? Does it make me happy? If no, then it gotta go.
So, what's your real goal with your creative, you know, aspect of life?
I don't know. I really feel like right now I'm learning a lot, especially what I do for, like, work. I work for a relationship specialist and a personal coach, and he's really, really big on systems. And everything that we do, we have to create a system. And I love that concept because it's like, you can't, even creativity, and, you know, like, you're free flowing and you're like a hippie and stuff like that, but everything needs like a little baby outline. So that's kind of how I'm trying to start moving, because before, like, even with my painting, like, I would, like, for a month I'd be like, ooh, I'm painting, selling paintings, and then next month I'm like, I don't want to do it anymore. And then, like, now it's graphic designs, I'm like, I don't want to do it anymore. But now that I'm, like, making money from graphics, and I really appreciate the genuine feedback that I get from graphics, I'm like, okay, how do I do this so that it's still fun, it's still creative, it's work, but it doesn't, like, burn me out? And that's why I have, like, systems and schedules, and, well, trying to loose systems and schedules. So
I didn't know you was as deep into the spirituality shit like you are.
yeah, I'm in that shit. I ain't got no fucking choice at this point.
What age?
Probably like 18 or 19. When I was a sophomore in college, I got my first book about crystals, and I didn't even read it at first. And I was like, whatever, rocks. This is cool. But I don't know, like, you just start, like, stuff starts to be put in your path, and, like, you learn about, I've always been into astrology. Like, I have the planets tattooed on me. Like, I'm very, like, astrology and astronomy are my thing, because they are two different things. A lot of people don't know that. But astrology and astronomy are my thing. So, like, I kind of already was, like, into the sun, moon, rising, like, reading my birth chart. And then, like, when you, like, learn about that, those community of people usually know a little bit about the crystals, and then they know a little bit about chakras and things like that. So
you
it's
know,
kind of inevitable.
me and him just was talking about this the other day. You know about your life path number?
No, actually, I don't. I think it's like, that's when you add your birthday up, right?
Yeah.
I
And
don't
then you
know.
get the sum of it.
I looked at it before, and I remember it telling me, like, that I'm an old soul, that, like, I've been here before, and I feel like that really resonates. But I can't remember what number it was specifically.
How you feel about those, like, you know, life purpose messages that you receive from, like, those, you know, spiritual websites or articles or people in general?
I feel like you just gotta, like, be super intuitive about it. Like, I do feel like, great, advice is always nice. Like, regardless if it's spiritual or not, like, any information to make life living easier or better is, like, cool. But, like, sometimes it also is, like, turning into, like, a commercial thing, and, like, the wrong people get into it and spread the wrong thing, which is natural for, you know, anything. Like, you get big, you get haters. Like, it's always like a good and a bad of things. So that's why it's like important to like not like focus so much on those things and like be in tune with yourself and like meditate and listen and listen to how like your body responds to things. Yeah. So like your gut feeling and like being anxious and things like that, like those don't happen for a reason. That's like your body's trying to tell you like, girl, something ain't right. Like whether it's right, whether it's true or not, but like it's still like a bell that you have to listen to.
Interesting. Is a bell, but do you fuck with do you fuck with gatekeeping? Fuck with the because you said the wrong people get into it.
I don't know. And when I say wrong people, I just mean like ingenuine people, like people who take everything like very like surface level.
Yeah. Like
that's like me tweeting something stupid. Like people just don't research and people don't read into things for themselves. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that's like gatekeeping, because I feel like people should know and learn, but like do your own research.
No, I'm saying, do you feel like gatekeeping? They should get back to that, because a lot of the ancient people, they gate kept the information because they knew today would get to where it's at today. So they made it as you can only be an initiate if you want to learn certain information. So I feel like it should be. I do feel like you should gatekeep information. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like maybe a couple months ago, I felt like, oh, everybody should know anything, but wisdom and knowledge is seeked. You know what I'm saying? So if you really want something, and they be like, this book is $500, you're gonna pay that $500 or find a way to get that book because you really want to know information in it. So, you know what I'm saying? I caught myself like, oh, I would never do that, I would never do that. But now I catch myself, you know what I'm saying? If it's certain information I want to learn, then I'll pay for somebody's Patreon.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I'm saying? I'll cash app them the money or whatever it is, because I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm buying these books and it's the same thing that they doing. So if they want me, or if they asking, all you gotta do is donate a couple dollars and they'll tell me something that can better my whole mentality or something, then I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna support their life, because they can use all that information and save it for themselves.
Right.
And that's really what you honestly supposed to do. But they not doing that, you know what I'm saying? So they looking out for other people out there because they know it's more of them who want to know more, who know like something ain't right about the way life be going.
Yeah.
So they make it to, okay, if you want to learn something, all you gotta do is sign up to my Patreon. It's $3 a month. So I'm like, alright, you know what I'm saying, I could do this too. And then I could look for the free information as well. And then, you know what I'm saying, when you do that, you still gotta research it, because anyone can do anything. So I do feel like certain information definitely has to be kept away from the general public, because even me, I mean, it's a lot of information I came across too, and I'm just like, damn, I don't know, like, and then once I did further research and I just started to sit on it and all that, it started to make sense. But like you said, people take things at surface level, so
yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw a tweet that said like social media is like a little fucked up right now, like, because like sometimes you're not supposed to, like, you're seeing stuff that you're not supposed to be seeing, like, you know what I'm saying, like stuff that's not meant to be in your path. You're not supposed to be worried about who baby mama whatever like that has nothing to do with
that
you. So
true.
like
It's
that,
fucking
I think that goes back to the whole like gatekeeping thing.
Yeah.
That shit is definitely messing up our psyche. And we had a podcast yesterday, and I was talking about how I do fuck with social media. It's just what you choose to indulge in on the app really dictate how your timeline's gonna be. Because if you only want to look at certain information, that information only gonna be there. But there are apps now that's messing up the algorithms and all of that. So, you know what I'm saying, everything's all collided.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's weird. Go ahead, what you gonna say?
Yeah, I was just about to say, it's just like you said about us coming across things that are not supposed to be in our path. People are seeing things, and then it's like sparking something in their mind that wasn't there before. So that interest level is a lot higher. So it just causes people to end up going down a path that they should have never even went down in the first place.
Exactly.
And get wrapped up into a facade. You feel me?
It's scary, the idea of that, because it's so like easy to be like, to like be swayed. But
how do you feel about that as like graphic designer and working in like marketing and stuff? You feel me?
So, my friend actually did say like, she just like fluctuates with her relationship with social media because like sometimes she likes it, sometimes because like you get triggered by it, and like especially like I don't know, just when you be going through some things and you be seeing them tweets at that time that like it just sometimes it could just be very like overwhelming. But I don't know. I feel like my social media, I'm starting to like build it up to where it's like so creative. Like I love TikTok. TikTok is funny as hell. So many people are putting me on to like new ways to express myself through creativity. Like the gun with the like the rug maker thing. Have y'all seen that? That I didn't even know about that until TikTok. There's this one girl that does like she like paints with the flash from the camera, and it like deflects onto the shirt, and like that's like how would I have known about that if I didn't have TikTok?
Coronavirus for that.
Yeah, for real.
Because it really made people get in their bag.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of talents people do now they didn't even know they could do before when they was going out every weekend.
Facts.
So
you drinking, doing all that stuff.
And you said you started doing graphic design heavy because of Corona, right?
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm saying. It was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah,
bro.
it was.
Changed the old world. We in a whole new world now.
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like the people who really thought or who still think Corona was out there, whatever, those are the people who now are mad creative, and then their mind actually started to realize that it was bullshit, and they needed to actually take the time out for themselves too. That's all the virus did. It just made people start to care about themselves more and realize how important they were, instead of always seeing what somebody else had going on. So even if they were scared or whatever it was, it still made them like deal with their own emotions and all that. That's why people was ready to go back outside,
right?
Because
It's
they're
like a new me.
Yeah, I didn't know I was like this. I can't chill with myself like this. So, but it made people to better them. Like, so that's why I still a lot of jobs and stuff hiring too, because people found other ways to get paid, and now they found their worth. So
Yeah.
it was
the
definitely
remote
something we
shit
needed,
too.
and it happened in 2020. So I feel like
It was just
it
bound
was a
to.
big attack. There's a lot of energy that whole year up until now. It's
I agree.
still going on.
2020 was
It's
a
a
weird
shift,
year.
right?
Yeah. Like if you think about it, if there was no like COVID, like I probably wouldn't be here. Like I probably wouldn't be like in these career sources that I am now, because I wouldn't have realized like, oh shit, like I can do graphic designs. I'm scared to think about what I.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, we ain't there. We here. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Nah, you right though, because if it wasn't for Corona, I wouldn't have started the podcast. Because I started that shit like when Corona started with Zach. You know Zach, right? Yeah. So, shit, everything happened for a reason. You feel me? And it was bound for us three to get in tune with this podcast shit. Like I was just looking at old pictures last night. I'm like, damn, everything was really written already. You feel me?
I love that.
Everything was bound to happen.
Cause shit do be written, but it's like you're gonna take the long way, you're gonna take the short way. Like everything is.
Yeah, already scripted.
Yeah. Even though it don't be feeling like it, cause like.
Everything be happening too fast.
Yeah.
Thinking like that.
And then it's like coincidences, and y'all know people be saying like.
There's no such thing.
Yeah, change the timeline and whatever, but like, I don't know. I always like struggle with that. Like.
All right, so what exactly you say you be struggling with?
Like the concept, like, is it all planned out, or are we just like winging it?
So look, what you gonna have to do, or what you should do, whatever the fuck you do. But what I would advise, because this is what I be doing too when I come across wild information. Don't look at what nobody else is saying when you come across something that you really feel strongly about trying to understand. Because it can be like.
It could be something that only you are meant to see.
True.
Like you were saying earlier, like your path is your path, you feel me?
Yeah.
And people have their own lenses. Like our eyes are our lens to this world. So everybody's seeing stuff from a different perspective and on a different frequency. So
yeah.
And another thing is like, you ever thought about how we all here at the same time, and like we all going through different things. So depending on what you go through, that's how someone else perceives life.
Right.
So it's almost like no one's really right or wrong.
Right.
Because there's nobody else down here but us that we give authority or power to.
Yeah.
So like, life is really what you make it. So.
I fuck with that. But I do struggle with like you said, like there's no right or wrong way. Yeah. Because I feel like I really like structure. Like, it's not that I like structure. Like, I like to be right. Like, I like I like it when people tell me like, oh yeah, you're doing good. Like I like that feeling of doing something correct. So I think like even what I'm learning, even like when you connect with people and learn about people, like there's no right or wrong way to like handle stuff, because what's right to you might be wrong to somebody else, and what's right for somebody else might be wrong to you. So I want to get to a place where I can really be like, I'm here and you're there, and that's not bad, but like
that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that shit hard though, because I be feeling like everybody should do everything my way, because I be feeling like my way is in the interest. I be thinking about everybody. Like, I'm not saying my way.
Yeah, I do.
I know.
Yeah, like
you be like,
that's not
damn,
selfish.
I know they wouldn't do it like that, but I would do it like that. Why a nigga not thinking like me?
Yeah, like so all three of us could be. You feel me? But it's because it's my idea. Like it's selfish. Whatever.
That's why this is.
Whatever.
That's why I'm saying. That's why we all are gods on earth, because like no one else can control how we like you know for a fact when someone else is not thinking how you think, and then you know you come across that person like, oh, they're gonna do what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's just certain things that you can't explain that's already written in the unseen. Like you be knowing like, man, this nigga about to take forever. I wouldn't take this long. Like certain things like that are like.
Yeah, I know
exactly.
The fact that all of us know exactly what,
right. It just start clicking together. But back to what you're saying, like, do you think this is planned? Do you think it's planned? Because I heard you saying like astrology and astronomy is not two of the same things, and I don't really want to speak on stuff I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do know that astronomy and astrology are not the only. I think it's something else. It's, you know how it's like the same thing, but they're not the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's other terms that are just like that, and I saw someone on Twitter saying like, basically, I'm gonna sum it up. Every one thing has something else that matches along with it. So about how astrology has to deal with us, astronomy has to deal with the stars. Yeah, so there's something else like that too. I think it's something along the lines with mathematics and something else. Yeah. There's something else that got those. I forget the word and all, because I haven't tuned into a minute, but you just saying that brought me back to it. And yeah, most definitely. I like. How do you feel about like? Well, not how you feel, but you said like this is. You question if it's all planned or if we're winging it.
Yeah.
So, and like you were saying about coincidences and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say like the fact that we all born under the same cycle all the time, and they be like, this sign act this way,
right?
And this that could correlate to that and all of that. That's why I'm starting to more so know that this is planned every day in a way. Like certain situations I go through and all that is already planned. And just the way shit is when you come across somebody, you be like, damn, bro, I feel like this nigga got the same birthday as me. And you come across and had the same birthday as you. And stuff. It's like, all right, I was meant to meet you already. I was meant to do all of this. So that's one, you know what I'm saying, phase of my life I knocked down. You just keep going and going and going or whatever. So, and then the more you learn, obviously, you learn how this is already scripted. Like, the TV and all that is a stage. So they're obviously copying from something else in real life, because all these movies and all of that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They cosplaying something. So
we were talking about how, like, fiction movies, like, even though they're fiction, they're still based off of something.
Something had to happen in real life to make you think.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel that.
Like, the perfect example is the show Adventure Time. Like, they was on LSD or shrooms or something when they thought about that show. So something was there for them to, like, you know, have that idea of like making that whole wild ass show. So even with the show that he be talking about, Stranger Things, like,
I love that show.
The Upside Down World.
Yeah, that shit is.
Yeah, that movie is crazy. I always, not in the movie, but the show was crazy. Like, he was in the walls of the crib, but not in the walls. Like,
I feel like that's like
that's
real. I don't know how exactly, but like,
that shit is real.
Something about that. Like, how could it not be?
You seen the movie Us, right? With the tethers and shit. Like, you think that's something like that is like how life is, kind of?
Yeah, I do. Like loosely, like not exactly. Like I don't know, like. But I don't know how to describe it. But like, if you even think about how many people like are on this planet, like it's more than just like outside of
humans, right?
Yes.
That's what I was trying to say. Like, I don't think that every person on this earth is like
Something-
human.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
like
I feel so seen.
Exactly.
Because I be trying to like say you know, like when you talk to people that like don't really get it, like you gotta kind of like water
Break it
it
down,
down
yeah,
to like
yeah.
make it, but like straight up, yeah.
nah, yeah, that's exactly
These
how I
niggas
feel.
ain't real for
Mm-mm.
real. And even the word real, like, what does that mean? Like, I keep going back to that because it's like,
A real something could like this is real life. You feel me?
Mhm.
But when you make a movie, it's a
real.
movie real.
Right.
You feel me? So like
and we was talking about how these words, the words
they're
that
all
they
anagrams.
use, they be anagrams of the other words, and there's a reason why they use these same words. So
Yeah.
this is all the movie real where we living in.
I think that's so cool though. And like back to what you were saying about like birth charts and astronomy and astrology and stuff. So like how I look at a birth chart is like a loose like map of your life. Like if you think of like an old school map, it tells you mad ways how to get to where you're trying to go. So like that's what a birth chart is, and it's literally like a picture of what the sky looks like when you were born.
Mhm.
So like if you think of it from like a scientifical thing, like certain influences, we don't even like spin like we like spin on an axis, like we tilt it, like the moon and the
Yeah.
tides be. So of course like when the stars are like in certain positions, that like makes you more inclined, and I'm not saying it forces you or like that's how you have to be, or like it makes you more inclined to like act a certain way.
Mhm.
But like you also don't have to act like that, which is why I'm
That's why
like
it's
fucked
good
up
to
about
learn
it.
about astrology and all that, so you know what be ticking you off to do certain things. That's why I want to learn more about it too. And
Yeah.
I've come across people who sent me like mad passages and articles and stuff so I could read about it, because like on certain days of the moon when it's a certain phase, I
Mhm.
always know when I have a certain feeling in me to do something.
Yeah.
Like during full moons, I always want to dance or something like that. I always have a, you know what I'm saying, a certain
Yeah.
type of vibe in me that I want to go out and dance or something along that line. But yeah, and then yeah, you just start getting more in tune with yourself, like, and I just think, or not just me, but how you feel about Western astrology?
Ooh, I don't know, because now I'm feeling like that's going back to like the gatekeeping. Like, should they have gate kept that? Because like, I mean, Western practices anyway, I feel like, and this goes back to like the planets, but like we're like coming into a time where like Eastern practices are becoming more,
Prominent.
yeah,
Yeah.
like how like well, the whole chakras and everything like that, I don't want to pin it to one specific religion, but that's like,
They made it poppin'.
yeah, like that's like kind of where that came from. Most people, the heavy practice is not in like the US. I mean, of course people practice whatever, but like,
Yeah, it's the way they. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
explain that to you. I already know, because some people would be like, oh, but this, but that, but they, like, I understand what you're saying. They made it to where one group was only looking like they dealt with it. Yeah,
Yes,
like
yes.
Buddhist and all of that. Meanwhile, it was already all over.
right,
but
exactly.
They do that for a reason. And it's crazy.
And I think it's like weird that like you said, just about going Western astrology anyway, like again, everything is like taken very surface level.
Yeah.
Like with the whole chakras things, like people be trying to say you have to align your chakras, and like there's only 7 chakras. Like we like are in a whole energy.
Yeah,
That's
there's
what
way
they be
more,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah. And how like you're supposed to open your chakras and like all this stuff, and I was like, that learning about that, like, and like this guy like went on a rant about it, and like you could be like, who the fuck is he to tell me?
Yeah,
But like,
yeah.
you know, certain shit just feels like
Yeah, it's a fact.
he's probably right about that.
Word.
So yeah, it just makes me want to like research more and learn more, because it's like, why not?
I feel like
Knowledge is power.
as you just gain more knowledge and become more comfortable with yourself,
Yeah.
your body is going to tell you what you need for yourself. So I feel
But
like
I think that goes back to knowing whether or not this is scripted or whether this is like free will.
Right.
I feel like once you know more about yourself, you have the choice to let life play out, or to take
Mhm.
advantage of the time that you have here and really like do something. Because I really do feel like all of the stuff that we learn, whether it be religious or not, it's just metaphors for what we're dealing with in life. And when they say Lucifer is more of the free will type versus like the structured going along with the plan thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that's exactly what people are fighting with, you feel me, when they go down this spiritual path of trying to figure out whether or not they are going down the path that they're supposed to be going down, or are they, you know, just moving unaccordingly. So
many are called, few are chosen. So if you know that you cannot live without learning certain information like me, then you're gonna kill yourself trying to do something else. And I know I done had situations that done proven to me, if you don't keep your head in the game and focus on what really matters, you're gonna get caught out here in the midst of everything. And it's so easy to become conscious and then lose it, because now you understanding everything. So, and I told myself that the other day, maybe last week or something, like, damn, Zaya, you be bugging sometimes, because now you're conscious of information. So now you're conscious of the decision you're gonna make.
And
so
once you know, you can't unknow. Like, I can't move how I was moving. Like, I can't. Like, I just know too much now.
So that's the thing about the gut feeling. Like, you know when you're supposed to make a certain decision. But some people choose with, you feel me, their heart versus their mind.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. People be focused on the physical, like what's here in front of us right now, versus like what's really playing out beyond what we could see. You know, it's really spiritual warfare going on. So like when you're dealing with certain people, whether it be like on a surface level or like a really deep relationship, you feel me, you're intertwining with different energies that you don't see. So you just got to be conscious, like you said, of everything that's around you. But
yeah, I feel like I was just agreeing with what you were saying about the whole like guess self-awareness and like living kind of crazy. Like, I feel like that's why I like leaned into astrology, because I'm not saying I was doing everything wrong, but it was taking me, I was dragging my feet to like get to where I was going. And I feel like that's what it was. Like, of course, you know, like you said, like there's a you have a destiny already, but like, are you gonna walk or are you gonna like drive there? So I feel like I was just moving real slow, snow boots type, skis on concrete type.
But did you know, like, before this whole journey that you've been on, did you know in your gut or deep down that you were supposed to be on this path that you are on right now? No.
I didn't think that I would ever become like such a deep, I don't want to say deep, but like just like aware. And like I sometimes like I hate it. Like, I wish like ignorance do be bliss, because sometimes like I wish I don't like think about things and rationalize everything. But like, I don't know, when I was like a freshman in college, like I didn't like even know. I mean, like I said, like I've always been into like astrology and stuff, and like that's why I was like I have the planets tattooed, but like I didn't know that I would like be
who you are today.
Yeah, like I didn't know that I would like dead ass have books about this shit and like really like read and be a part of communities that like just want to learn more. And like you were saying, like there's no right or wrong. It's just like however you got to deal with shit, however you process things.
That's what's up. Yeah. You give a real perspective on that.
So
y'all welcome.
So like, do you feel like this is real life for real? Like, do you feel like there's more to the physical? There's more to life than just this physical body right here?
Yes. I don't know. I feel like yeah, but like our brains probably can't like wrap our like, cause you know what you know. You know what I'm saying? So like, what you don't know, like you don't know.
That's what matters. That's what really matters. What we don't know.
Right. So it's like it could be like I think like on some real shit, like that's why we haven't like seen aliens. I mean, have y'all ever seen an alien?
That's the thing about aliens. That's what I want to speak on. What do you consider an alien to be?
That's another good one.
Alien is, because in terms of every other creature that already been here, we are the aliens.
True.
Because, you know what I'm saying, we are the newest beings to be here.
Right.
So,
and we're the only beings that don't
do what everybody else does.
No, not even that. We just don't work with nature.
Like,
we work against it.
Yeah.
So,
but when they first came down here, it was a whole different story though. Like when niggas first came down here, depending on what type of philosophies or whatever you tune into, based on certain esoteric information, they were able to connect with both the physical and the astral plane before humans fell down. So as time move on, we disconnected from nature. So, and the whole way that we just move, we can talk, we can do a whole bunch of stuff. So wouldn't it make sense if we were the aliens here?
Right.
And like I was saying on the other podcast, when Egyptians found out about insects, that's when they started burying people.
Mm-hmm.
So what would be the case of burying us when you find out about what do insects have to do with burying? Clearly these insects are who really got control of this plane right here. So I feel like
That was some real shit.
this is not real.
Yeah, I feel
Like this is not real at all. Like I feel the movies that we be watching when it be some crazy like, oh, these people they got a body now, and that's us. I do feel like,
So you feel like we're like the Truman Show?
yes, we don't even know how we look for real.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can't even see ourselves. Like only other
I feel
people
like it's
can
really
see
like
us.
the Matrix for real.
Yeah.
This is not like, you just got to think about the stuff that we can do in life. The little things matter.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just got to compare it on a larger scale. That be like, damn, if we could do all of this. Like, I just be thinking, like, all right, what are we here to just work, get money, learn, die, and then what?
Yeah.
So it's like, and obviously you come back. That's a popular opinion. You come back if you haven't learned something.
Right.
So if that's the case, you're gonna keep coming back, and then go where after the fact? There's clearly a certain destination that we going that requires us to be here first. And on the tree of life, like on the tree of life of the Kabbalah, we on the lowest realm of it all. Now,
he be
this is
knowing.
considered hell, so they'll get no lower than this right
Yeah.
here.
Oh, cool.
So when you think about it, it's like, what else is there? There's much more out there for us to learn, but there's mad stuff here on Earth that make people feel like it can't get no more better than this.
Well, that's why Earth, I think, that's why we're here to like learn, because what makes humans human are emotions, like and things like ego and
But
like
you think emotions
jealousy
are real, though.
and like
Ego,
that
facts.
that
Ego and it, yeah.
I don't think that like I mean,
Ego
of
is
course
big.
we're
We
meant
need
to
that,
have
though.
it because we're here. We gotta learn the lessons. We gotta like learn to like be selfless and work through the ego and da 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 da. But like, I don't know. Like,
We need our ego.
we do need our ego. I hate when people try to say like kill your ego.
Nah,
No,
we need
befriend
that.
your ego.
We was just talking about whether or not being humble is really beneficial in the long run.
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
It's not. Cause
And
even,
the Kanye shit really put me onto that.
yeah, because even like if you look at all these artists, or whether they be ball players or musicians or whatever entertainers, you feel me? All the ones that are humble, like you see later down in their
Niggas get
career,
fucked over.
yeah, they end up like showing their body for real, like coming out their body. So it's just like, I don't know, man.
Or if they never become like arrogant, they get holed over.
Mhm.
Like Damian Lillard, for example, or other
I don't
people
know.
along those
Yeah,
lines
exactly.
who try to stay true to something that's not staying true to them back.
'Cause,
I
like-
give thanks to this person. They don't give a fuck about
Yeah.
you. You might as well just show your ass, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters is us. Because when it's time to go,
Can't nobody else speak for us.
Right.
Yeah, but
And
ourselves,
it's you,
so-
you're on your own. You're on your own shit. And I feel like, you know, I don't want to say like society, but like I think for whatever reason, like they want us to like downplay our abilities, and they want us to like be humble, be cute, like, you know what I'm saying, like, but no.
Think about if everybody or majority of the people knew what they really could do.
Exactly.
From-
And you telling me to be humble and be where I'm at. That's like, you know what? Did y'all see the Kanye thing? Did
I
y'all?
saw the
You
first.
did.
I saw the first episode. I didn't finish it though.
There was one, not to spoil it, but like there was like this one part where he was like, "Who are you to say you're a god?"
Oh yeah, I seen
And
that.
he was like, I just said that I was a god. Like I declared
Now
it.
that interview is valid though, because he right after that he was like, "Would you rather have me say I'm a nigga?" Or some
Yeah.
shit like that, and that's real.
Like
because,
when I hold myself up here, like y'all want to hold me down
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
and that's the
stupid.
thing. We was just talking about Kanye because like he the only nigga that I ever heard say that he's comparable to Michael Jackson. But now everybody says that, and it's just little shit like that. Like with the whole Yeezy thing, nobody was really jacking that at first, but now everybody want to wear some Yeezy boots or whatever. Like,
And his influence is on the whole entire
Whoa,
fashion, like the nudes and the streetwear and the
with
man.
the way everybody in the whole industry dressing now, it's like based off of that. Chill. They be trying to exploit people that aren't humble though. They be trying to put people in their place, and that shit. That's also like with the free will shit or with the going with the plan. So it's all about finding that balance in life. You feel me? But like he said, certain people are chosen for different paths and walks of life. You feel me?
Quick thing on that Kanye thing. That's how I know that Kanye know what's going on.
Yeah.
He's really like, he's really mocking people.
He's mocking everything.
Like, he doesn't care about like the whole, like, this whole gospel Kanye that is right now that everybody thinks is so Christian and stuff. He's literally telling y'all that he is God and Jesus and all of that.
That
like,
you are that.
If like he said that way back when, now he's talking about Jesus save me, Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Whatever funny lyrics we always be gelling off him about and stuff. Because that Donda tape was hard. Because when I listen to it as if Kanye already know that he's Christ and all that. I don't already know he's not, you know what I'm saying? It's just the industry, it's a stage. So, but yeah, like Jesus even said in the Bible I always go to, he told the Pharisees, are ye not gods? Is it not in the scriptures? If so, the scriptures cannot be
That's
changed.
why I be wanting people to understand about themselves. Like, we are, like, all of us are our own gods. The only thing that's real about us right here is our minds, you feel me? Because,
and I was just about to say that, like, I feel like also, like, God is like
a frequency.
Yeah, it's like a state of being. It's a mindset. So be that. Live in that, because everybody has that ability to have that. God's on earth. Like talk your shit.
That's
seriously.
What I'm saying. We really create our own reality.
Yeah.
And that's why it's always going to be that silver lining of free will and living life with a plan, because we create our own reality, but things are also written in the stars for us too. Like, if we want to view our life as, like, you feel me, the negative traits of our sign, quote unquote, then it's gonna be that. Or if we want to view it as a positive, it's gonna be that.
Right.
You feel me? So, however we perceive shit with our lens, and it's crazy because this shit is really like a movie, because like the whole movie real anagram plus the fact that our eyes are a lens to this world, and it's like the camera has a lens and all of that. So
that just proved that this
shit is like
this is just
none of
a
this
game
shit
that we
matters.
have control over. Like, and I've been seeing people say that too. Like, this isn't back of the day when our grandparents and their parents was growing up, where the system is holding you down. Ain't nobody stopping us from nothing today.
And
like,
I hate I don't ever like really talk my shit about that, because I think it's true. I do think that, no, we are not in the same time or place. Things are not the same, because that is progression. Progression is good, though, because, like, in some ways they weren't on what we on. In some ways we're not on what they was on. And that's natural. It's all about, like, yin and yang. Like, everything is not going to always be one way.
Polarity.
So, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I that, like, kind of makes me frustrated too, even about like the whole signs thing. Like, when people get so triggered and so mad, I'm like,
about certain signs,
like, I'm a Gemini, da, da, da. And then there's like the people that's like, I don't act like a Leo, da 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 da. It's like, but if you really knew, like, you gotta do
when you know more, you feel me?
Yeah, it's how mind control the way. That's what I was saying about Western astrology. Like, when y'all was talking about keeping things as taking it for a grain of salt and all of that.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, I'm trying to learn more about sidereal and tropical, but I don't really, like, I'm trying to understand, like, what is the difference that they do than what Western astrology is. So I was trying to ask someone who was big into it, or just trying to word it better.
Yeah. Because I
now.
would be open to, like, learning about that too.
Like, I want to know what exactly are they taking from the stars to make it different from each other. If you know what I'm saying, like Catholicism, Judaism, and all of that, they're taking a certain like part of phase of the what they're talking about, and switch it around.
Right.
So like Catholics or whatever they don't believe in, they believe in Mary or whatever, but Christians believe, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're just taking the same thing.
It's the same concept, but with astrology. I feel like what it also could be is like the mathematics of it, like, and how you calculate, and like, and I feel like astrology and astronomy should be more like combined in that way, because that's what it is. It's shapes in the sky. It's parallelograms, and it's right triangles and circles and stuff in the sky. So I feel like,
remember we was talking about angles and angels and
that's
that's what I was trying to say. Like, I think the angels and shit like that, it has to do with the what was I about to say? The dimensions, or what was it dimension? Yeah, dimension that you're living in, because this is like the third dimension, and then it's the fourth dimension that we can't see. That's the spiritual shit.
And then there's like
real.
a fifth. There's like a fifth one too.
Yeah, I watched a whole video a couple years back where a nigga explained like what dimension would God be on, and he broke it down from the first all the way to the 10th, and basically God would be on the 10th dimension. And that's just, I don't know, it has me thinking like, do we just level up, you feel me, the more and more that we continue life? Because in the womb, I think that's the second. I ain't even gonna lie to you. The nigga really broke it down like every stage of life, how we living in different dimensions throughout our life. So that angle and angel thing, I feel like that shit is significant. All these anagrams and shit really do mean something.
Yeah, it'd be right there. Heavy on the Kanye thing, like he just is saying, like he's just like mirroring, like he's just mirroring everything that's already happening. So
yeah. Yes, and
with the Yeezus, the Jesus, and all that.
Yeah, he's just doing whatever he want to. So he went into Hollywood and signed all them stupid ass contracts because he wanted to, and then he got on TV and to the point where he could be able to say whatever he wanted to say because no one else is doing it. And that's what he was saying on that Juke Champ interview. Like, I just did this because who else was going? Like, what other chance do I have? Like, if we want, like, and that's the thing I feel about life. Like, I'ma just be real.
So George Bush don't like black people.
They say that the black community is this, the black community is that. If the black community was to ever look like the white communities, I hope niggas know that them niggas is in some shit. That's just a fact. Off it, because black people still run things.
Yeah.
White people, the other motherfuckers don't run nothing.
That's why we trying.
They're the newest beings here. So all of this,
they got all their knowledge
secret
from
societies and all that other weird shit that niggas like to say only white people are doing. You can find 10 million niggas doing the same thing. All them hillbillies and all that, they jacking black country niggas swag. All that is already, there's already niggas that you can find moving like white people. They're just lower versions of us. And there's no disrespect, but that's just the fact. Their race is not even like, it's not like, we're not no fucking coloring book.
Yeah.
We're not black, we're not white. It's all about your bloodline. And clearly we have melanin to protect us from the sun. And it's all about the neuromelanin in your brain. It doesn't matter about the skin tone because white people have melanin too. It's just that we're clearly a darker reasoning of melanin for a reason. So with that being said, that's that. Like all of that extra shit that people be trying to make it seem. There's white people who's more conscious than I am.
Yeah.
I done came across white people who done off rip knew how I was coming. This white girl from West Virginia, she was like, "Are you a Wednesday baby?" I'm like, "God damn, how did you know?" She's like, "I could just tell by the way you be tweeting and how you act on social media and shit." I'm like, "God damn." And then I just started talking to her about life and a whole bunch of other shit, you know. So I just was able to actually learn from other white people too, rather than a couple years ago when I was like, "I'm a Hebrew Israelite," and this, that, and the third. I was caught up in mind control. Even though it was giving me a way to look for something greater, it was still a form of mind control. Now me understanding who I am and dealing with the hidden science and stuff is letting me be just me. It's letting me just level up and go through my own lessons until I learn the damn lesson and I can move on to a better lesson in a greater part of my life. Like you said, I'm tired of learning lessons.
Yeah.
Me too, but the crazy part about life is everything is a lesson.
Yeah.
I feel like even the good times are lessons to show you if
appreciate.
you keep living this way, this is what's gonna happen for you. So at the end of the day, it's like, it is what it is. Like, it is what it is. Everything is a code. Everything is decoded. There's always something like you were saying. See, I probably agree when you were saying sometimes it just is what it is. Everything ain't that deep. But then the more I look at like things like in the Bible, for example, like Psalms. Book of Psalms is the book of lamps, and lamps are lights. So I only brought that up because I seen that bright ass light right there. But you know, in the Hebrew Israelite community, they say that if a man wants a perfect wife, he has to get him a Psalms, I think it's a Psalms 82 wife or whatever. So what they basically saying is that the Book of Lamps shows a woman how to be the perfect wife or whatever the case might be. So just like, it's always something deeper that you can look at things to. Basically what I was getting at. But yeah, this whole thing right here is all it's all something from us to learn from.
Yeah.
For the next life.
Go up with it, and it's much more that we definitely don't know that I always want to learn more about. And like every time I watch these movies, certain movies, especially the ones that they come out with today, you should always look for something more
Deeper
to learn from. Like Stranger Things, that shit is fire. Like,
Yeah.
Even like the Spider-Man No Way Home, like all these movies got certain symbols in them and metaphors that niggas can take away from.
Yeah,
So
all the
crazy.
Spider-Mans coming from different dimensions, like
That's real.
that
like,
concept feels too like you know, some shit just feel like they right
Yeah.
about that.
You feel like there's multiple of you.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I think every time I make a decision, there's the me that
made the other one.
there's the
Yeah.
me that walked, there's the me that took the bus, there's the me that took the train, there's me that drove. So like, and full circle moment, that just goes back to like you being present. Cause if I'm walking, what I'm gonna do with me who took the bus? I don't know what she got going on because I walked.
Yeah.
So like, that just you just have to just be in the moment. You made your decision, living your decision, because to my knowledge, we can't time travel, and that wouldn't even fix shit if we could time travel.
Word. It wouldn't, because every
So.
time they put it in these shows, they fuck up something.
Yeah.
So they
See,
just-
that must mean
And
that
they
must
show
mean
how-
something.
And they show how every time you go back to the past, it fuck up the present.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just gotta stay
Because
present.
there is no past and present. Because if niggas go in the past and then see their old self and shit, like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm glad that I went through everything I went through now. Like, and today, I feel like today I made, you know what I'm saying, I actually hit a couple people up who I felt like I was in the way, like growing up, like from young, like, you know what I'm saying, a couple people that, you know, I ain't speak to in like years and stuff too. Like, I hit them up. And I just woke up today with a type of vibe like, God damn, I gotta shake back. Like, and it could be this Pisces season right now. I just feel like myself
Something,
growing.
yeah,
I
it's
just,
something. I'm
like,
telling you,
I feel
I'm
like everybody's shedding all the bullshit.
yeah,
that was on
like
their
I'm
life.
doing shit that I never,
Yeah.
not that I never, but like I don't know. I'm so consciously doing things different,
Word.
and it's uncomfortable, but like it feels good.
Yeah,
It feels
right. I
good.
feel like, oh, okay.
Yeah, feel like
Yeah. So I had hit a couple people up to basically apologize for how I've been acting towards them, or how I, you know what I'm saying, I disrespected them in certain aspects, whether it's the way I was reacting to certain things or ignored them or whatever. I feel like it was in my best interest to do that, and you know what I'm saying, they appreciated it. So I just want to become a better man, basically. So I'm working on doing that right now, and just continue to
I
learn
respect that. I really do respect that, and I just feel like I'm learning that like there's people that like think like you. Like there's people. Not everybody is like
cold hearted.
yeah. Like not everybody is like whatever. So like somebody reached out to me on the same like you know, I'm sorry for like the past or whatever, and like I didn't know how to take it, like, because is it in a way that you just trying to like get back right or whatever, or are you like learning and growing as a person? And it's hard for me to, number one, make that distinction, because like I'm such a passionate person and I think a lot with my emotions, and I feel like I need to detach just a little bit more. But also like I don't know, I just question everything as well.
Nah, you should, because I hope they question me too, because you know what I'm saying, I don't want to like see, because I know who I am, and I know what I'm capable of getting away with, and that's why I be talking about this, because I said this to my little cousin the other day too, and she's 6 years old, and I'm like, Asa, you know what you doing, because when I was 6, I knew what I was doing, and I be telling my mom and them that too, and I told my aunt this too, like, we know what we be doing. So these grown men and women who choosing to do whatever, they know what they doing, so there's no excuses for nobody.
People just need to take accountability.
Yeah,
Right.
obviously your frontal lobe isn't fully developed until you're 25.
Yeah.
But you still know what you're doing. So you choosing to make those dumb mistakes that you know, that's just because your frontal lobe isn't fully developed. But you know that you could take a better route if you choose to. But like me, I choose not to. So
Because
like,
it's harder. It's harder
Yeah.
to do.
the right.
When you're programmed, because you make decisions based off of your experiences.
Yeah.
So if you are only used to shit going one way, and you're only used to doing shit one way, and the outcome has always been this way, like why would I not do anything else? Like on some, it is what it is, but then like it's not, because you're not conditioned to like thinking about things one way, handling things one way, communicating. And like, again, that keeps coming up for me in life to learn that. Like, I don't want to say I've been butting heads with people a lot, but like I said, like, I be feeling like I want shit to go my way. Like, in my head, like, in my head, if you do it how I'm gonna do it, like, we wouldn't even be talking. You wouldn't even have this concern right now. So it's like, but sometimes people don't learn when you say that stove is hot. People have to touch the stove.
Totally.
Some people gotta lay on the stove. Some people gotta get in the oven and turn the oven on to like learn the message, like to get it. So.
And that, man, why do you feel like life is like that?
It's hard. It's so hard.
It's because it's the lowest realm.
Yeah. So, and I saw someone
everybody's
saying,
mindset is all over the place.
I forgot who I was chilling with not too long ago, but we was talking about how many people. Oh yeah, it was Al and one of his mans, and he was like, "What is it? 8-9 billion people down here?" He was like, "That means that there's an infinite number of possibilities of things that can happen down here."
Right.
And when you say it like that.
That
Like,
makes me
that's
excited.
a lot of minds right now just thinking
On the
about a lot of
same
off the wall shit.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised this isn't even worse than what it really is right now. So, and I honestly feel like, it might be an unpopular opinion, I feel like there's more people who quote unquote want to do the right thing here than that don't. I just feel like the stuff that happens down here gets outweighed than the people who's just chilling back trying to understand what's really going on.
And I feel like, as fucked up as it sounds, like we were talking about, like, yin and yang and polarity, like, it's gonna be some people that just don't learn. Like, you kind of gotta, like, and for the people who do want to learn, you look at the people who aren't learning, and, like, you see that people are experiencing, and that's what's, like, hard for me, like, to see people, like, you're going through the same shit, like, it's very cyclical and not in a positive way. So, like, for people to, like, because people confide in me, like, a lot with, like, advice and stuff. And I'm starting to realize, y'all keep asking me advice. Y'all keep talking about the same shit. Yeah. Like, you don't see...
Like, that's the thing about venting. People just need somebody to vent to. But at the end of the day, they the one that got to make the change.
Right.
Because there's nothing that you could say that's going to make anybody do anything or say anything to somebody that they need to say something to. You feel me?
And that's what I'm learning, to just, like...
You can't be the savior for
just listen and not be a fixer and be supportive. Like, I can't ride the bike for you, but if you fall, I'm gonna be right there. So that's how I want to be more.
Nice life path right there. What's your what are your personal goals, you know, for the rest of the year, and, you know, for the next couple years up until like 25? You feel me? Like, what's the type of woman that you're trying to grow into?
That's a really good question. I can't even like spit off like adjectives, but like, as far as like the type of person I want to be and the type of life that I want to live, like, I journal about that all the time. And like, when I say like I don't be here with y'all, like, I be with my more like developed and established me, and how like she would do things and where she's at and what she would be doing. But by the time I'm 25, I definitely want to be in a position where I'm making... I want to be able to profit off of my creativity passively, if that's possible. Because when you're being creative, you're active. Yeah.
You should never say if.
You gotta manifest and walk into it.
And I understand, because like we've been conditioned to just talk like we know, like
that humble shit.
Yes, exactly.
Like, we have to get that out of us.
Because
like
you capable of doing this shit.
Yeah,
You feel me? It's a reason why. Because you feel me? Like, for Zaya and Nuke to be like, damn, ISIS is really valid with the designs, and for them to really tune into the Black History thing every day for the month, it's other people that's not even a part of the team that's, you feel me, watching your shit.
That you don't know about.
So you are an inspiration to somebody. You feel me?
I was there looking at that shit every day, bro.
Yeah. Nobody, I never seen nobody on the gram do it like that. You know?
And it's hard to like do things that no one has ever done before. Like, even when I was like looking for inspirations, I'm like, okay, well, what are people doing? People aren't doing. So it's like it's such a gamble. Like, when you kind of do shit differently than, like, you know, what you're conditioned to, and it's very scary. But like, you gotta just be in your own shit. Like, I'm not here. Like, I'm not even.
But that's the beauty of creativity, though. Like, you don't even know what type of impact your art gonna have on people until it really gets out there.
Yeah.
And like, whether it be film or like photography or graphic design, like your whole vibe and energy that you're putting into it, you feel me? Your perspective on it is definitely probably gonna be different across like 10 to hundreds of people. You feel me?
Yeah.
So art is subjective,
It
but it's
is.
beautiful.
So yeah, by the time I'm 25, I want to stay in this artistic vibe and not let life like make me want to not, enjoy myself, because like people get very jaded off of their experiences. So I just want to be able to like always jump back to my like naturally, like I'm naturally just a positive person. I'm naturally just a creative person. So that's why you gotta like find out who you are to the core. As far as like spirituality kind of put me onto that. Like, damn, I do be doing this. Like I am this type of person.
Yeah.
So I want to learn balance and how to like not let life like fuck me up, I guess you could say.
There's a book you can get called The Keep All KYBA Lion.
Mm-hmm.
It talks about basically it's the laws of Tahuti, laws of Thoth, the natural laws of life, not like the fake man-made laws, but the law of polarity, law of duality, law,
like the scientific,
yeah,
because that's what matters. If you on that science shit and apply it to human.
Mm-hmm. I hope. Yeah, so I said that because you said you was talking about wanting how to find balance. So
Yeah.
reading that book helped me sometimes understand that like everything has poles and stuff like that. So, and it helps you understand how to be in control of your life, so that like the law of cause and effect won't get you, and just things like that.
Yes.
So yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, I feel you. That's what it's all about, balance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And balance in all aspects. Like I want to have the money, I want to have the house, I want to have the car, I want to have the loving relationship. And I feel like sometimes you be seeing people have like a lot of one thing and then like less of another, which is like I always say, like there's a good and a bad, and sometimes the bad don't even be that bad. Sometimes you could deal with the quote unquote bad. Yeah, literally. So yeah, I just want to be in that position.
Let the people know where they could find your artwork at and everything.
You can find my artwork at the Dollface Studio on Instagram. Cause I used to watch when you and Zach used to do like the little reaction videos, and even like I of course like I've been to y'all shit for like parties and stuff, but I think like one time I went in your room and you had like a green screen. Did you just have a green screen?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And I remember just being like, how come I'm not friends with him? Like he got like he on some like you had like lighting or whatever, and like I was only in there and I was inebriated, but I still remember being like, why am I not? This is the person I need to be cool with. Fuck everybody else. This is who I need to be communicating with.
In college, bro, niggas was acting like they was scared to talk to me or something. Like,
yeah. And I mean, I know.
Niggas was like, Keyshawn even told me, he was like, when I first seen you, I thought you was gonna be a mean ass nigga. I'm like, what, bruh? So, some people is like vulnerable enough to say something like that to you, but I know if he said that, I know it's other people that was looking at me and was thinking the same thing, so they just didn't even bother talking.
And then sometimes it don't even be about you. Like, it be about me. Like, I wouldn't have had, like, the skill. Well, I guess the skill doesn't really matter. But, like, I just was not in the headspace to even set that up for myself.
Alright. So, I appreciate you coming out on the podcast, Isis. You feel me? Let them know where they can find your gram at.
Instagram is at the Dollface Studio.
Word. Shouts out to Amaziah and Nuke, you feel me, for being a part of today's episode. You're going to see a lot of work coming from us, you feel me, in the future, so stay on the lookout, you feel me, and we're going to catch you on the next episode.